Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. 5 different varieties of good evening. Like 5 different models of the eye. Okay. One of the things that came through in the pre-work, as also in some of the conversations that we had today, is this whole business of what I'm going to understand, red reporting. Red reporting. What is red reporting? Red reporting. Girish, you have to educate all of us. What is red reporting?
I'm just passing on the honors to Trisha. So please.
So the person who bears the maximum brunt of it. Basically, when the candidate, is good to go in the interview, etc., we offer, and we usually do a background verification check on them using a third-party vendor. So if they've faked their documents, for example, their resignation letter has been tampered with, their salary slip they have tampered with, or they're working for Reliance Communication, Reliance HR Services, but they have cited Reliance Communication, those kind of things. So they are working for a partner or agency firm, but they have cited the company's, the client's name. Those kind of things come about, and obviously they get noticed by our third-party vendor. Noticed in the sense, during the verification, it's found.
It pops up.
It pops up. And then we'll have to ask the particular employee to leave. It typically doesn't happen obviously at the middle and senior management level, but more so in the front line.
The sales level I'm going to understand.
Sales.
So essentially, what Trisha is saying is that from talent assessment standpoint, these could be candidates who are found fit to be hired.
Yeah.
But then in terms of the information that they've divulged, and from an integrity standpoint, have they set the best standards that we would like to emulate? Answer is strict no.
Not
So we have to let go of these specific cases. This is what we typically call as the background verification process. And we get reports just red. For every person who's hired, typically we get report is categorized as red, amber or green. The green is things are fine, we can go ahead and get them on board. Something like that. In fact, the report format is pretty much similar if you see one. It's very similar.
And sometimes, although the report comes out green, we are not able to get the relieving letter from that person, which is very important for us as an organization when we hire people. That mostly happens in case the person, specifically the CSM, has about will have some amount, 1.5 to 2 lakhs at the distributor end, still pending under his name. So that way, obviously, the company where he's coming from, they don't give him the relieving letter, and we cannot hire without the relieving letter. And even if we have hired him, and if he's not getting the relieving letter, we have to let him go. So which also results in attrition.
Interestingly, also these candidates, they've gone through multiple rounds of filter. One through the HR, 2 or 3 rounds from the business, right? Now, because we go completely on trust, we trust their resume, we go ahead and make certain claims here, and we go ahead and clear these guys. But at the end of the day, somewhere, I think wrong information gets submitted and we go by, it's a complete breach of trust in whatever way you call it.
That's fine. How is it linked to it?
So I'm saying this question is, how is it that, what kind of questions, if we probe at the interview stage, can reduce the incidence of these such cases? Because suddenly in the last couple of months, we found a bit of a spurt of these cases.
So should we even try to filter all that out? Because this itself, I'm not kidding, it's a handful, right? You want to have just 30 minutes with the candidate, you ask,
Not only that,
figure out what to ask, what not to ask.
on ego basis the resume, right? There it says 10 plus 2 plus 3 and everything, which is basic check. Most of the things, I think, you would not be in a position to assess it unless until you do a background check.
No, what it also does is
Which is what we're doing. I'm saying there's nothing different from what we're doing right now, Anand. I'm saying point is we can settle for the whole process, saying we're doing completely fine. Now, if I have to ask Vinod, for instance, about one recent case, similar case, will you be happy about a person who's just joined a company 2 weeks down the line, operations under pressure, this guy has to go out, now I have to find a replacement? Is it the best situation for us to be in as a company?
True, but
I'm okay to give a replacement, but
see, once you certify the background check, generally you are allowed giving him the
not necessarily, because our lead time that we typically give for candidates to join is 20 days to 25 days. And let's say they take 10 to 15 days to submit their original documents. From then on, it takes 2 weeks for the agencies to verify and come back. It's a central process.
But one of the cases you asked me that he got through the interview and later Vishal come back saying there's a background check which won't be paid. So Maybe it is on the rush of the
No,
plot
I tell
side.
you,
So-
no.
All right. So if I can just cap it, Krishna. So okay. So I'll tell you where this kind of ties up with what we are discussing. Now, when we talk about probing, there's a very specialized form of probing called the devil's advocate. All right. Now, when we play the devil's advocate, there is a chance that there is inconsistency of information that can sometime filter through. Now, will it happen 10 times out of 10?
No.
Will it even happen 7 times out of 10? 5 times? I don't know. Maybe it will happen 3 times out of 10.
I'll give you a classic case. So Alex, for instance, had caught one such candidate who had fudged saying that he's from Nestle because he happened to be from the same organization. He did a reference check, and he
And plus-
caught one candidate red-handed.
Not during the interview
And
stage.
the-
No, not exactly. Not in the interview stage. Absolutely.
During
It's an
the
offline
stage.
process.
It's an offline process.
Yeah.
So therefore, now going back to what we said in the morning, ecosystem thing, at a skill thing. So at a skill level, the best that we can do, not only to check for red reporting, but also for, more importantly, the depth, breadth of who they are as a person. What is it that they bring to the table? How is it that they fit into the scheme of things that we are at Vodafone? Right? So, the idea of playing a devil's advocate is much larger than just trying to. But one of the ancillary benefits is that one or two of these cases will also come through. Right? Having said that, what is the devil's advocate? Or who is the devil's advocate? Okay, first of all, heard of the phrase devil's advocate? Okay, great. So, who's devil's advocate? Interviewer,
Somebody who provokes.
somebody who provokes. Devil's advocate, anyone?
Who's able to get the plus and minus of the situation.
Okay, the pros and cons of the situation.
Somebody who takes a confronting stance.
Somebody who takes a confronting stance. Somebody who takes a confronting stance, somebody who takes a contrasting stance, somebody who takes an opposing stance, not because he has that point of view, but because he is testing whether the belief, the action, the words, the thought process that you are articulating and elucidating upon, is it something that you believe at the core of your being, or is it just something that you're doing because it's the right thing to do? For example, very, very simple. When you take a holiday, so I'm just asking you one sort of off-hand question, right? One question, which is a digression. When you take a holiday, right? What's the kind of places that you like to go? Okay, why do you like to go to hill stations? The climate. Okay, there are a lot of, so basically what I would try and do is, then generally ask him in a first non-confrontational way, and if it doesn't elicit something, then in a confrontational, slightly confrontational way. There are other places which are not hill stations, which also have a pleasant climate. Now, what am I trying to do? Is it my case to understand why is he going to hill stations? I just want to see how consistently he can talk. So, for example, what happens is, increasingly now, with such easy access to information, a point of view can be very, very easily acquired. Meaning to say, Amartya Sen has written an open editorial for Economic Times. Our man has read that open editorial in Economic Times. You're asking him for an opinion on something. Rinse and repeat. Does it happen? Does it happen? Does it not happen? Happens, right? Meaning to say, the point of view is not my point of view. It is an expert point of
One
view.
point of view.
It's an acquired point of view, and I am giving it as my point of view because, oh wow, it looks great on me. You think I'm sophisticated, you think I'm articulate, you think I'm... So, when you ask, so for example, if you ask somebody, are you left, center, or right of center? In terms of a political belief. right? Left, what's left?
Completely agree.
Communism.
Communist.
Socialist.
Social. What's center?
Values.
What's right of center?
Capitalist.
So the belief, sort of the very widely held belief is that the Congress or the UPA government, which was in office for the 2 terms, which was slightly left of center. The widely held belief right now, the government that we have is slightly right of center. So now if somebody asks, you just want to see, so what are your political beliefs, right? You say, he says, right of center. Now, you keep your ideas totally aside. So you're saying, why do you like right of center? So if I ask you, Girish, why right of center?
Because it's from an organizational standpoint, it talks about performance orientation,
It's pro-market,
pro-market, differentiation, meritorious.
meritocracy.
Yeah.
Okay, what else? Strong leader.
Power center is what?
Okay. Centralized. So what I will do is simply ask him, so are you saying, Girish, because when you are pro-market and you're capitalistic, you're not always being sensitive to people who are below. So I will therefore ask him the question, hey, you know what, this is fantastic, but what happens to, which by all estimates, whether you give it a 70% line or 75% line, the number of people who live below $2 a day in this country. Now, is my idea to get into a moral argument about this? I want to see what is the depth of his knowledge. How can he consistently hold on to his beliefs and give a reason? Sorry, you want to say something? How can he consistently hold on to beliefs and support his belief in an organic, powerful, articulate way? Makes sense? Doesn't make sense?
Makes sense.
Make sense? Would you like another example? Because I'm going to ask you to do an exercise on this. Another example.
Yeah.
Let's take an organizational example. Right? So, left to yourself, right? Left to yourself. Would you like a setup which is centralized, which is the hub and spoke, or would you like a setup which is decentralized? And this is a question that's going to everybody. Like left to yourself in an organization, would you like a setup that is centralized, or would you like a setup that is decentralized? So you want one fellow. So he said no strong leader. So right now, see what you have in the government is a centralized setup. It's a centralized setup. There's one fellow, and he's treating even his ministers as bureaucracy. So he's saying this, and it's sort of his orders are being carried out. As against the previous government again, when they were all by themselves silos of power.
Hari, zona circular. Which one you like? Power of center.
Okay, without sort of digressing too much, yes. You would like centralized. Why? Decision making is so it leads to action. Very, very strong takeaway. When there is centralized decision, there is action. Okay, what else? Uniformity of processes, so it's not arbitration, right? One size fits all. Okay. What else? Please join him. Centralization. Kya advantages kya hai?
They completely implementation.
Okay, yes, action oriented.
Cost saving.
Cost saving. Debatable, but we'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Time saving.
Time saving too. Yes, there is no place for debate. Like this this workshop can be done as a seminar or can be done as a back and forth. You do the seminar, won't last more than 40 minutes.
Clarity, clarity in the role. What I'm supposed to.
So there is clarity.
As an
Of role.
execution now,
Absolutely. Okay. So my question is, therefore, he says all of this. Let's assume he said all of this. But you know what? In a decentralized setup, in a centralized setup, people feel cramped, demotivated. They don't get space to execute their own ideas. So why do you prefer a centralized setup? Would you like to work in such a setup? Would you like to be cramped up? Centralized is where you're cramped up, where your ideas are not given much importance. You're just told what to do.
So we necessarily have to choose a stance. You can always qualify and say,
So are you even doing that?
we can do that.
Are you doing that? Is the candidate doing that? It's what you're looking for.
So the candidate has to widen the context,
Exactly.
set a context, or and then start to qualify and say, there is no right, wrong, left, right. All these are just labels. Ultimately,
Absolutely.
given a context, this is how I would like to go about it for the following reasons, and these are the pitfalls.
See, centralized also has come in as a process which is evolved from the decentralization.
Sure.
Whatever is
So
process you
now
say.
that is one answer, that is another answer. When he gives this answer, I am able to check for depth, breadth, level of reasoning, etc., etc. At all these points, I am agnostic. I don't care two hoots about centralized, decentralized. Because if I do care, then I'm going to get into an argument as to why centralized is better than decentralized. I have no opinion. I have no morality. My question, my purpose in life is to check for consistency. My purpose in life is to check for breadth. My purpose in life is to check for depth. Makes sense? Doesn't make sense. Right? Super. So just one or two examples where I'd like for us to think of a question, elicit possible replies, and then counter check. Maybe a set of 3, 4, 5 questions. After that, we will go into a round of mock interview.